was a bit of drama at the Academy Awards over the weekend, and first off, the Academy Awards happened, and I personally didn't even know about it until a few hours before the event began. But what really stood out was what appeared to be the showrunners for the Academy Awards kind of teasing the audience throughout the night into thinking that Chadwick Boseman was going to win for Best Actor, and it didn't really turn out that way. So the run of show shifted Best Actor to the final award of the night. So that was like hit number one that Boseman might win, prompting many to assume they did so because Chadwick Boseman posthumously was going to win the Oscar for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It made sense. It would have been a touching way to end the show and to pay tribute to a beloved star who died last year of cancer. He died incredibly young, in his 40s. And it was unexpected because he hadn't disclosed what he was going through with the public. Now, when Boseman was awarded a Golden Globe for Best Actor earlier this year, the emotional acceptance speech given by his widow, Taylor Simone Ledward, was the emotional highlight of the night. Perhaps with that in mind, the Oscars switched the traditional order of categories this year so that the Best Actor award came last after the Best Picture had already been awarded. But here's what happened. Chadwick Boseman did not win. The award went to Anthony Hopkins for The Father. And since Hopkins wasn't even at the Oscars, the ceremony ended immediately after the award was announced, with presenter Joaquin Phoenix looking as confused as anybody.
To be fair, Joaquin Phoenix often looks confused. Don't get me wrong, I love him as an actor. But anyways, now the heart of the couple of issues here with the Oscars. They're getting beat up from every quarter, right? So some folks are very angry about this particular story, and they're saying, how could you do this? And they use his image and the swag bags, etc., to promote the Oscars, and then they rob him. No, wait a minute, let's be fair. They apparently genuinely didn't know who was going to win. So that actually gives me a little bit more faith in the process.
How do we know that they genuinely didn't know who was going to win?
You would never produce a show to end with, sorry, bye.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point.
No, I mean, this is totally embarrassing. They would have never produced it this way if they knew Anthony Hopkins was going to win.
Why did they just assume it then?
Well, oftentimes, very, very often, if there's buzz around someone, marketing works and that person wins. And so, look, I'm not saying he wouldn't have deserved it. He would have, according to a lot of people who saw the movies and thought. I didn't see any of those movies, so I don't know, but I assume that they know what they're talking about, and I'm sure a lot of people voted for him, etc. And you remember the bad old days when Harvey Weinstein would just create buzz and have everyone that were in his movies win in outrageous fashion, right? Mm-hmm. But 9 out of 10 times, they used to use Ben, for example. This is a great example of it. Ben Mankiewicz, one of the co-founders and of course, one of the hosts of the Young Turks, is also a host of Turner Classic Movies, and the Oscars would use him to do the odds for a couple of years before the ceremony began. They stopped doing that. Why? Because the odds makers were always right, so it would give away the whole show. Okay, in this case, the odds makers were wrong. Now, why were they wrong? This is totally my speculation. A lot of the people who vote on the Oscars are old. They watch Anthony Hopkins, they're like, yes, right? And that's why, for example, Haley Joel Osment lost the Oscar in Sixth Sense to Michael Caine, because even though Haley Joel Osment had this amazing performance that still stands out today, I don't even remember what Michael Caine was in. The older voters were like, Michael Caine, that's my boy. He's in his 70s or 80s. We're voting for him, right? So they're taking nothing away from his great career overall. So here, though, guys, obviously they didn't know, right? They thought he was going to win. So now that makes me think, oh, okay, they're not cheating. They really don't know. Isn't that fair? That seems super fair to me.
Who even are these people?
The people that are complaining?
No, not the people who are complaining. Some of them are actually pretty funny. Like, for instance, one of them said that ended worse than The Sopranos, and I totally agree. I know it's a controversial issue, but I hated the ending of The Sopranos.
I love the ending of The Sopranos.
Okay, we don't have to get into that, but I love that tweet. No, I'm not talking about the complaints from people watching the Academy Awards. I'm talking about the people who vote, right? Like, who even are these people? Do we know, or is it just like some opaque situation?
No, it's the Academy. I don't remember exactly.
it's the Academy. Okay.
No. What I mean by that is people that are in they're professionals in movie making, and so actors, directors, producers, etc. That's what they mean when everybody thanks the Academy. That's who they're thanking. So if you're but I don't know the exact qualifications you need to be in the Academy to vote. And different categories might have different people voting. Again, I'm not positive about that. We'll talk about it in an old school episode with Ben. He'll tell us.
So it's just a bunch of industry ass slapping.
Oh yeah, but almost all awards are industry ass slapping.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they are by definition. Now, it's not like they found experts and like, oh, we have a Harvard professor and a Stanford professor, and they've decided that Sir Anthony Hopkins is correct. It's just all subjective.
No, I know, but let me just provide an example in our context, the equivalent of the academies, if I may. So like Webbies, right?
Yeah.
Like Webby Awards, like. Actually, I don't know 100% how Webbies are decided, but I know that there's a voting component to it where like ordinary people get to vote on who the winner is. Wouldn't it be more interesting to do it that way?
Well, they're gonna have a much harder time verifying, etc. And no, that would make their old school heads explode. And Webbies and Streamies and other online awards do a mix. Some awards are decided by their version of the Academy, and other awards are decided by you guys. Every award that's decided by you guys, we win. So that's usually how it goes. Anyways, did I mention we have 11 Webbies, Streamies, and Shorties? We might have more by now.
I mean, if the Webbies can do it, I think the Academy can do it, right? Like, I don't think like process-wise it would be that difficult. It's just that you're right, they wouldn't want to do it because it's the Academy, please, right? It's just like, every year there's some controversy. I oftentimes wonder whether or not it's manufactured, because would people be talking about the Academy Awards today if there wasn't a controversy last night?
No, it's such a big event that it creates controversy just by existing. In fact, the other controversy related to it is conservatives are going ha ha because it got really low ratings. They think it's because the speeches were too progressive.
Or political.
Okay, first of all, let's just break that down real quick, okay? Number one, I didn't know the Oscars was happening last night. You didn't know.
Right.
You know why? Because nobody went to the movies this year, right? And so nobody went to the movies. We forgot the Oscars was on. They had it in a non-spectacular way because they were forced to. They didn't have it in the theater that they normally do. You turn it on, it looks like a couple of people sitting on their couch, right? If you turned it on. But just, they're so stupid. In order for it to have bad ratings, people would have had to have known that there were going to be progressive speeches ahead of time. By the time they watched the progressive speech, they already got counted in the ratings.
Yeah.
Okay, but facts don't matter to conservatives. They're like, oh, we win, man. The ratings are low because they dare to say black people matter. I didn't now show you. If you say next time that black people don't matter, your ratings will be higher. No, you schmucks, the whole country isn't quite as racist as you are.
You know, and there really wasn't much marketing by the Academy regarding the event, because I actually did see quite a few movies. Obviously they were on demand. I didn't go to the movie theaters to watch them. But in terms of Best Picture, I saw several of those films, and I didn't even realize that they were gonna be nominated for Best Picture. Nomadland, which won Best Picture, excellent. Minari, which I watched over the weekend, excellent. And Judas and the Black Messiah, also excellent. So watch those films and you'll understand why I think so highly of them. They were heavy movies that touched on many economic and social issues that we're facing today. In the case of Judas and the Black Messiah, obviously it's Fred Hampton. We're talking about the history of
the Black Panther movement.
The Black Panther movement, civil rights, all of that. I mean, I think out of all of them, that might have been my favorite movie, but all three of them were great.
Right, and he won Best Actor for that performance and talked about how the Black Panthers were so much more than what they're painted in the media, and how their struggle and their fight helped to make who he is. That was a really interesting speech too. But last thing, guys, the other reason why you never saw ads for the Oscars and why you think they didn't hype it is because nobody watches TV anymore.
Yeah.
So Sean Hannity makes this really stupid argument. He's like, in 1991, 4 times as many people watched the Oscars as they did today, and it's because they're progressive. No, you schmuck. So everybody watched TV in the 1990s. ER and Seinfeld would regularly get 20 to 30 million viewers every episode. Now the largest TV show, which is the Oscars, gets about 10 million. That's it. And so that's also why you didn't see the ads, because you don't watch TV where they would have the ads.
Now that you say it, you're right. And the only 2 ads that I've seen over and over again, to the point where it makes me want to rip my hair out, is NerdWallet and Postmates, where they try to do subliminal messages about pad thai. Yeah. That's it. Those are the only 2, and it's because they play before videos that I actually want to watch for the show. And it's like, I don't want to see this anymore. But yes.
Well, that gives you an excellent sense of where people should advertise. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.